Hey, Enio. Is there something you're hiding from me? Would you like to tell me about it?
Huh? Katya, what in the world are you talking about? I'm not hiding anything from you.
I already know, so it's no use trying to hide it. Spill it.
You make it sound like I'm guilty, but I'm really not hiding anything from you.
Are you absolutely sure about that? Trying to hide it will only make me angrier, so I would just tell me if I were you.
I ate the last pudding that was in the fridge? Is that what you're angry about? I know I shouldn't have eaten your food, but it's no reason to get so mad, Katya.
What in the world are you talking about? Pudding?
Yeah, I know you said that the last one was yours. I didn't mean to. I forgot you said it when I ate it. If that's what you're mad about, then I bought 3 of the same pudding earlier, so forgive me.
Oh, is that so? Huh, wait, that's not what I'm talking about.
What? Then what are you talking about? I don't really have anything else I'm hiding from you. Are you feeling alright, Katya?
I'm feeling fine. I'm talking about something a little bit more important. It's something so important that it will change our relationship from now on.
I'm sorry, but I really have no idea what you're talking about. Could you just tell me?
You know that I went on a business trip to a place near your hometown today, right? I went to the supermarket on my way home to the hotel when 2 people, one of whom called herself your mom, approached me.
What? Are you sure about that? Is she with you now?
No, I'm currently on my own, so rest assured. The woman who called herself your mom had a mole under her right eye and called herself Savina.
Really? My mom also has a mole under her right eye and is named Savina, but how does she even recognize you? I've never introduced her to you since I already cut ties with my family back home 5 years before we got married.
Apparently your mother found out about me when she saw the picture of us at your friend's wedding. You know, the one your brother was also invited to.
Oh, that wedding? I was surprised seeing my brother there. It was the first time I'd seen him in 6 years. So that's how she found out about you then.
Not only that, your mother had a 5-year-old girl with her.
Huh? A 5-year-old girl? Was it a grandchild or something?
Yes, she said that she was her granddaughter.
So that means that my brother got married and had children?
No. This child wasn't your brother's, she said. She said that it was yours.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about? You know that's impossible, right?
No, all I know now is that you've been lying to me all this time. You had a secret child living in your parents' house? Why didn't you tell me about this when we got married?
Hold on, I don't have any such secret child. You know that's impossible, right?
I'm not going to let you lie to me again. Tell me who this child's mother is or I'm getting divorced to you.
But I haven't been to my parents' house in 10 years. I told you this already, right? I also told you why I became distant with my family there, right? Besides, you're not the kind of person to let your emotions take control of you, Katya. You're the kind of person to make logical decisions, right? I know you're probably surprised by all this, but...
Oh, but I'm always logical. I'm asking you again. Who is that child's mother?
Huh? But I already told you that I have no such secret child. It's probably my brother, so ask him if you want. He was always so careless with women.
Stop trying to make this your brother's responsibility. I'm not going to go home until you give me a satisfactory answer. If you won't tell me, then fine. I'll give you until tomorrow. Bye.
Katya, but I told you I don't even know who that child is. Why are you suddenly being like this?
Long time no see, Enio. I never thought that I would be texting you about something like this. But I think that me bumping into your wife at the supermarket is some sort of fate. Please take your daughter that you left here 5 years ago.
Hello, Mother. Long time no see. Can't say it's a pleasure.
Oh, so I see you finally unblocked me. No hard feelings anymore?
No, I haven't forgiven you and brother what you did to me all those years ago. I just have no choice because it looks like you made contact with my wife. Let's just get things straight first. I don't have a child. I don't know what the hell you're planning, but don't get my wife involved in this.
But your wife listened to what I had to say. She believed me and not you. And that's why she texted you yesterday, didn't she? If you don't tell her who the mother is, she really is going to divorce you, you know. Actually, she's probably going to divorce you either way now. I mean, I can't blame her. After all, you have been keeping a child's secret from her all this time. You not telling her about this when you two got married is enough reason to get divorced, I'm afraid.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but this secret child of yours isn't mine.
Oh, is that so? And do you have proof that can back up this claim of yours? Who knows? Maybe you had a child but just never knew about it. It's possible.
Why don't we do a DNA test then? We'll know for sure then.
Huh? A DNA test? What's that? I've never heard of it. Isn't DNA the thing that determines our characteristics or something? What does that have to do with this?
Oh, look it up yourself. I'm not going to explain high school biology to you, mother. All that matters is that if me and this child take a DNA test, then we'll know for sure whether he's my child or not. I can tell you with certainty, though, that's not my child.
Is that so? But are you going to be able to convince your wife, Katya? I don't think she's going to believe you even then. You see, I get the feeling that she's not going to be convinced by your fancy DNA tests.
I see. Judging by what you've been saying until now, you've seen the conversation with Katya I had yesterday, no? But Katya said that she was alone when she sent me those texts. Did she show it to you or something?
Who knows? Maybe I saw it, maybe I didn't. What's important is that your wife isn't going to forgive you until you tell her who this child's mother is.
Katya?
What do you want? I told you I wouldn't be coming home until you gave me a satisfactory answer. If you don't confess soon, I'm going to divorce you.
I can prove that that child isn't mine. We can have a DNA test done if you want.
Huh? A DNA test? What's that? Stop trying to fool me again. I know this child is yours. So tell me who the mother is or I'm going to divorce you.
I don't know why you're suddenly acting like this, Katya. You were never the type to let emotions cloud your judgment.
I told you already, I'm being completely logical right now. So there's no use trying to lie to me.
Alright, I understand. Anyways, your friend from middle school just contacted me.
Huh? My friend from middle school?
You made a promise to meet them next week, right? He told me to tell you since you only knew our home number. I know we're currently in the middle of something, but I promised him I'd tell you, so I will.
Oh, is that so? What did he have to say then?
It's 2 at W Station, alright, just like we planned, he said.
Yep. Tell my friend that no changes need to be made.
Got it. I'll tell you one more time, though. I don't have a secret child.
All right. But I'm not going to go home until I find out the truth. Enio, I just snuck out of your mother's house. She was holding me captive in my room, even locking it from the outside. But I was able to jump out through the window. Luckily, I didn't get hurt. I'm currently on the way to the W station by taxi. Is this according to plan? I realized that this was just like that spy game we played recently. So I played it out exactly like in the game, but...
Yep, I'm glad you got the message. The meeting next week is actually tomorrow, Sunday. Which is the first day of the week, and by 2, I mean 2 a.m. Even though people normally assume that it would be 2 p.m.
Oh, so it was just like in the game. I wasn't sure whether you had gotten my secret messages, but it seems like it worked out.
Yep, you were pretty impressive too, Katya, with those secret messages. You must have done a great job fooling my mother as well.
Yep, I used to be in the theater club, remember? Acting is a pretty useful skill, you know. What did you think of I'm always logical?
Yeah, it was perfect. I remember you telling me that someone who was truly logical would never say such a thing. You knew that I would get your message, so you sent it to me while being watched by my mother, right?
Yep, exactly. Oh, I'm almost at W Station.
All right, I'll park the car at the South Rotary, so wait for me near the stairs.
A car? What does it look like?
It's a red car that I rented. Let's go home, Katia.
Yep. Enio! Did you sneak Katia out last night? I went to her room to give her some food earlier, but she was gone. How in the world did you do it?
Hello, Mother. It seems that you forcefully dragged Katia, who you saw by accident at the supermarket, back to your home and made her take care of this secret child of yours. I knew what you were doing, but I decided not to tell you since it would ruin the element of surprise.
How in the world did you find out?
You see, I got a call from Katia's company saying that she wasn't going to work and that they weren't able to contact her. Right after that, she sent me, or rather you forced her to send me, those texts about this secret child of mine, meaning that it was obvious to me that you had done something to Katia.
Yeah, but that wife of yours seemed suspicious of you from the start. She was furious when I told her that you had a secret child.
Yeah, she was just acting. Impressive, right? Apparently, she used to be in the theater club.
She was acting?
She knew what was going on, and so she hid secret SOS signals in those messages that you made her send me.
But you still have no proof that the child isn't yours.
I haven't been to that town in 10 years. How could it possibly be my child?
I don't know. Why are you asking me? You're the one who left her here.
Fine, I'll tell you how I know that isn't my child. Katia is the first person I've had sex with.
Huh? Seriously? Weren't you like 28 when you married her?
Yes, but that's not the point. There's no way I have a secret child because Katia has never been pregnant before. I'm not like my brother who does it with all sorts of women all the time. I have no idea why you suspected me and not him in the first place.
But it can't be your brother's child.
So you do know, huh? That child is my brother's child, isn't it? You went a bit too far with this fun. I won't even take responsibility for it. The truth is that the woman who gave birth to that child did her best to raise her daughter until she was 5 years old, even though she wasn't married to my daughter. But the stress was just too much for her, and she fell mentally ill. So she gave the child to my brother and entered a facility for the mentally ill. This is what happened, right?
How? You've been away for 10 years. How do you know all that?
It's true that I left that place, but I still have some friends there, you know. One of those friends is a person that has a variety of connections and knows basically everything going on in that town. I contacted him and he was able to find out the truth for me in an instant.
I didn't know you had friends like that.
By the way, I know about brother as well. He's now unemployed and just stays in his room all day, right? 2 years ago, he tried to put his hands on the CEO's daughter and ended up enraging her dad, the CEO. And so he was fired from his job and is still unemployed to this day. Is that correct?
You even know that? But I haven't even told anyone.
What I saw from here is just my guess, but this is what I think happened. You and Dad relied on Brother's salary to make a living until now, since Dad didn't have a job. But now that Brother is unemployed as well, you no longer have the money to support yourselves, let alone a grandchild. That's when you set your eyes on me, your other son who earns a steady salary working at an office. You first were planning to convince me to send you guys money every month, or maybe of moving in with you for…
We weren't planning on doing anything like that. We just wanted you to reunite with your family again.
Shut up, we were never a family. Anyways, while you were scheming, you suddenly saw my wife, Katia, at the supermarket. I had never introduced her to you, but you had seen photos of her from a wedding that Brother and I were invited to. And so, you suddenly came up with the idea of using Katia. You told her that this grandchild of yours was my secret child, wanting to make her doubt me. If the two of us got divorced, you would have pushed that child on me saying it was mine. If the two of us didn't get divorced, you would still push that child on me to be raised me and Katia's child, and And maybe even convince us to move in with you so I could provide you three as well. Either way, you intended on making me take full responsibility for this child of brothers.
How do you know even that?
I was just guessing, but judging by your reaction, I was correct.
But you haven't been here for 10 years. How could you possibly have guessed all that?
It doesn't matter if I haven't been there in 10 years. I know how the three of you think, and it seems like it hasn't changed all these years. To think that you three are still as rotten as you were 10 years ago when I left. Disgusting. Leaving was the best decision I ever made.
What did you say to us? I'm your mother. You can't talk to me like that.
Oh? And what are you going to do about it? You know what? Why don't I give you a suggestion? If you have the time to make up these schemes, then why didn't you convince my brother to get a job instead?
What? But that's impossible.
How the hell is it impossible? Brother has a responsibility of a father now. The Iwanami Construction Group, famous for turning degenerates like my brother into upstanding citizens, has an office in our hometown, right? Why not send him there?
The Iwanami Construction Group? But they're no joke. Who knows what will happen to your brother if he gets sent there?
They're a business partner of mine, so I already told them about my brother and how he would love to join them.
You what? What in the world do you think you're doing, sending your brother to the Iwanami Construction Group? Don't you have any compassion for your brother? You were always so heartless, Enio.
I didn't send him just yet. You're the ones who are going to decide whether he'll go or not. But I heard that they have company apartments where the workers' families can come and live with them. Why don't you and Dad join my brother at the Iwanami Construction Group too? I mean, you're degenerates just like he is, after all.
Actually, I'll pass.
Do you really think that you guys have any other option? What are you going to do, go homeless instead?
What? But you could provide for us, Enio. Please, son. I know we didn't get along so well, but we're still your family, right?
You kidnapped my wife and held her captive at your house. You know, when she saw me, she hugged me immediately and started crying. She must have been terrified. Do you really think I'm going to forgive you for that? Let alone fucking give you guys money. How delusional are you? You three can rot in hell for all I care.
Enio, but I'm your mother. You can't speak like that to your mother. I know you're not actually like this. I know you're a kind-hearted soul. I'm your mother, so please help us.
Don't pretend you're my mother after everything you've done until now. Didn't you used to make me eat canned food when you would cook a proper dinner for everyone else?
Huh? But we raised you for 18 years. Don't you think that you have a duty to provide for us when we're the ones who need help?
You're trash, Mom. Those are the worst 18 years of my life. You always treated me like how Harry Potter's aunt and uncle treated him. I got my wife back already, so I'm done with people. I'm gonna change my phone number as well, so you'll never be seeing me again.
Wait, Enio, don't go. We don't want to go to the Iwanami Construction Group. I heard what they do to workers that slack off. Please. Send your brother, but don't send me and your dad. We're too old to do hard labor.
You should have thought about that earlier. Goodbye. I doubt we'll ever see each other again. One hour after that, 2 black vans came to my parents' home. My mom and dad got put into one van and my brother and his child got put into the other. The 2 vans went in separate directions after that. According to the Iwanami Construction Group, he'll never feel like he himself is a father, and so they decided to place him in different camps. They just started working, so what happens to them from now on is up to them. Both my parents and my brother work hard labor every day and night, being made sure by their supervisors that they don't slack off. Also, brother's child apparently started going to kindergarten and seems to be enjoying it, which I'm glad to hear. I intend on cutting ties with the 3 of them, but I hope that one day they are in fact reborn into upstanding citizens, just like the Iwanami Construction Group says they will be.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Mother, I can't take it anymore. What in the world is going on? Nina? I thought you were on your way home from your part-time job. What's wrong? Is anything the matter? Yep. Mother, I told you that Dad might be cheating on you, right? I overheard him talking on the phone with another woman the other night. And sometimes I see him smiling on the phone for no good reason. It's probably why he always misses the final train and stays over at a colleague's house as well. I can't take this anymore. Why don't we just confront him and put an end to this? Oh, so that's what you were talking about when you said, I can't take it anymore. I know it's difficult, Nina, but we can't make a move until we have concrete proof. Otherwise, we'd be putting ourselves at a disadvantage. I hired a detective agency to investigate it for me, so we just need to be a little more patient. If it's evidence we need, Mother, then I already have it. I know who this other woman he's seeing is as well. She used to be a classmate of Carmen and Rosa. What? Luca's dating someone the same age as his daughters? How disgusting! How did you find out about this, Nina? I know, right? It makes me feel sick. Her name is Albina, and I just saw her and Dad heading to a love hotel with their hands held together. I saw them while I was on my way to the station from work. That girl Albina is no good, Mother. I see. That must have been hard for you to see. So I guess it is true that he's been cheating on me. A part of me refused to believe it, but now that I know the truth, I've lost all love for your father. Yes, I almost threw up. You see, apparently this Albina is into older men or something. All the men she goes out with are apparently around her father's age. Carmen and Rosa told me that she's been doing this since she was 16. And even got one man arrested for dating a minor. Everyone at school used to avoid her, apparently. She's in the same grade as Carmen and Rosa, right? Which means that she just graduated high school this April and is 18 years old. I guess she's barely legal then. Yep, that's right. According to her, the reason she dates older men is because my father never loved me, so I need the love of a fatherly figure. My guess is that she's just going after older men's money, though. She disgusts me so much. What a creep! I have no intention of judging people based on their personal preferences, but I see, so she's that kind of bitch. Anyways, at least we know for sure now. I know you're probably not going to feel well for a while, but just come home safely tonight, all right? Your dad is probably not going to be home tonight anyways, so no need to worry about seeing him. Yep. We'll get through this together, Mom. Thank you, Nina. I wouldn't know what I would do without you three. But we need to be careful about how we tell Carmen and Rosa about this. It seems they already know that Dad is cheating on me, but if they found out that this other woman was their own former classmate... I understand, Mother. It's important how and when we're going to tell them about this. Mother? What is it, Nina? Sorry, I just told you about this so suddenly. I was in so much of a shock. I should have been more thoughtful. It's all right. It's not your fault your father is a piece of shit. You're probably just as hurt by this as I am. Thanks for worrying about me. Anyways, the report from the investigation agency I hired will soon come. They even introduced a lawyer for me. I'll make sure to take care of things as fast as possible. After that, the four of us will live together as a proper family again. Without your father. All right. Tell me if there's anything you want me to do, okay? Thanks, Nina.
Hello, Reva. I think we need to get divorced.
What? What is it, Luca? You haven't come home in 3 weeks, and suddenly this is what you have to say to me?
You already noticed it, right? You already noticed that there's another girl I was meant for.
Yeah. I noticed how you kept smiling at your smartphone like a creep, all right? So this girl that you were meant for, Her name is Albina, right? And she's the same age as Carmen and Rosa. 18, isn't she?
And how'd you know who I'm dating? Did Carmen and Rosa find out about us and tell you or something?
No, Nina saw you two entering a love hotel while holding hands while she was on her way home from work. And even if she had never told me, I would have found out anyways. I mean, the family is on the verge of collapse. I can't just stand by and not do anything. By the way, you disgust both me and your daughters.
What? I disgust you? I don't take this so personally, Reva. Jeez. It's just that I found someone I want to be with more than you. But that doesn't mean that you weren't a decent wife up until now. No hard feelings, okay?
Wow, I never knew you were so magnanimous. But I don't think your daughters are going to feel the same way, even if I were to forgive you, which I'm not. And yes, you disgust us. To think that you would put your hands on a girl that's the same age as your daughters? And a girl that they know as well.
It can't be helped. As soon as we saw one another, we knew we were meant for each other. Albina is just so much more attractive than you are, Reva. And she's going to be at the peak of her femininity for quite a while longer, unlike you. I know it's not your fault and it's only the natural order of things, but you just get older day by day, getting less attractive.
I see. And what's your point? Why have you contacted me in the first place?
I wanted to tell you that Albina is going to give birth to my child, so I'll give you custody of our daughters.
Huh? You got Albina pregnant? Jesus, Luca, you're 48 and she's 18, right? Don't you feel a bit disgusted about yourself?
I told you already, we were meant for each other. We're not going to let age, which is just a number after all, get in our way. She got pregnant because we had decided that we needed a reason for you and me to get divorced. So we decided to make a baby.
You disgust me, Luca. I don't know why I ever married a man like you.
What did you say to me? But I just said that there were no hard feelings and you're a decent wife up until now.
Shut up. Who do you think you are anyways? I make almost all of the money in this house, not you. You have no right to look down on me and call me a decent wife. Oh, and couldn't you impregnate Albina after you two got married? It's like your head is full of flowers and you've got no plans for the future.
Shut up! I always hated how you were like this.
Anyways, you're going to give me custody of our daughters?
Yep. I'm not going to tell Albina to become the mother of 3 girls her own age. Don't worry, I'll pay for child support. Oh, and this house is going to be me and Albina's house once we get divorced, so you and your daughters need to leave by then.
Hey, Luca. But all our daughters are already older than 15. Nina is 19 and the twins, Carmen and Rosa, are 18. All 3 of them have the right to decide who gets parental custody of them on their own.
Yeah, but doesn't the mother usually get custody of the children?
Yeah, but I asked them and they said that they would be coming with you. I tried to convince them, but they insisted that they wanted to go with you instead.
Huh? Why in the world would they want to do that?
I don't know. Ask them and you'll find out. But it means that I'm the only one who's going to be leaving this house.
What? Why would they want to go with me instead of you?
Who knows? I'm saddened by their decision to go with you instead of me, but there's nothing I can do about it since they're already all past 15. It can't be helped if they choose you, their father.
But what about the child support?
Oh, don't worry, I'll pay for the child support every month, but I'm still going to make you pay an alimony, all right?
Hold on, this isn't what I was planning. I already told Albina that this house was going to belong to the 2 of us. She's going to be furious if she finds out that she's going to have to live with my daughters, who are her age nonetheless.
Sorry, but you 2 are going to have to figure something out on your own. You're currently living with Albina in her apartment, right? That's why you haven't come home these past 3 weeks. You even stopped bothering making excuses for yourself.
There was no point trying to hide it anymore from you since I knew you'd already found out about us. But how did you know that I was living in Albina's new apartment?
Like I already said, I noticed that you were cheating on me, so I hired a detective agency to do some investigation and gather proof. I also already hired a lawyer, so there's no way you're going to get out of this.
You were doing all that behind my back. Why didn't you tell me?
Look who's talking, mister. I cheat with my daughter's classmate. You have no right lecturing people about doing stuff behind their backs. Anyways, get ready for what's coming because I am not going to go easy on you.
Damn it! Wait, what do you mean by that? Aren't you just gonna make me pay an alimony or something? Reva! Come back here!
Hello, Mother. Did you finish moving already? Hi, Nina. Yes, I'm currently at my new place and I'm about to unpack my stuff. Sorry I wasn't able to help you. I was kind of busy with stuff I needed to do at school. It's fine. I'm only going to be living here temporarily anyways. I rented a monthly mansion that came with furniture, so all I need to do is to open the cardboard boxes and put them away somewhere. It'll be over in an instant. I see. Looks like you planned this out. So how are things over there? I bet your father's acting all nervous around you three. Yep, he has. We've been mostly ignoring each other, but he gets really awkward whenever he needs to tell us something. The three of us try to not talk to him as much as possible and answer only in short sentences when we have to talk to him. Anyways, Albina moved in this morning, but she was extremely surprised to see us when we greeted her at the front door. The three of us thought it would be fun to pretend like we were thrilled to have her there and even called her Mother. You should have seen her face. That sounds amusing. It looks like your dad didn't tell her that he would be taking custody of you three. Looks like it. I heard her shouting in the living room at Dad as soon as she left the boxes she brought with her in her room. Saying, "This isn't what we talked about. I thought that this house was supposed to belong to the two of us." My, but it's their first day as a married couple. I think this is going to be an unhappy marriage. How are Carmen and Rosa, by the way? Oh, don't worry about Carmen and Rosa. They're all right. They seem to be into this plan a lot more than I expected them to be. And have even been talking about what tricks they're going to play on Dad and Albina on their own. Apparently, they're planning on asking Dad for an allowance in front of Albina, because they know she's greedy for money and will probably be pissed when she sees him spending money on anyone other than her. I see. Glad to see they're doing well, I guess. But tell them not to do anything dangerous, all right? Albina's pregnant, so if you go too far, it will only be disadvantageous for us, you see. Yep, I'll make sure to tell them. Mother, there's something you need to hear about. What's the matter? I think Albina being pregnant was a lie. What? How do you know that? You see, the three of us have been making sure to make as little contact as possible with Dad and Albina. Albina must have thought that we weren't watching her because of this, but we saw her drinking alcohol and eating sashimi. She even wears high heels and a miniskirt whenever she goes out of the house. I see. She must have lied to your father about being pregnant so he would divorce me, but she didn't actually want to have a baby. And not just that. If she was actually pregnant, then it should be visibly noticeable by now. But she always wears these tight clothes, and it's obvious that she's not pregnant. It doesn't seem like she goes to the clinic for checkups either. Is that so? Well, we don't have any actual proof yet, so I don't intend on doing anything strange. I thought about telling Dad about my suspicions. What do you think? Instead of telling it to him directly, why not pretend to have a conversation with your sisters so that he overhears it? But I already divorced him, so I don't really have a say in things. I guess that's true. Okay, I'm going to talk to Carmen and Rosa and decide what to do. Don't do anything too rash, all right? Yep, we'll make sure to be careful.
Reva! There's something I want to talk to you about. It's something about Albina, you see?
Well, well, look who we have here. Long time no see, Luca. Is it all right if you contact me like this? We already got divorced, you know.
Why are you talking to me like that?
Because you're a stranger to me now.
But didn't the two of us spend the last 25 years together? I know we started to slowly drift apart, but you were always important to me.
Don't lie to me. If I was important to you, you would have never cheated on me in the first place. But enough of that. There's no use arguing over the past. Is there something you want?
Yeah, you see, Albina left the house and left divorce papers on the table.
Oh my. How unfortunate.
You see, I accidentally overheard our daughters talking about stuff you can't do when pregnant, and...
I see. Nina is currently studying to become a nursery teacher, so I guess it's natural for them to be talking about stuff like that.
You see, Albina was doing all the stuff you can't do when pregnant, that Nina mentioned. Now that she mentioned it, I realized that Albina's stomach wasn't getting any larger, when she should already be a few months pregnant. And so I decided to ask Albina about it, and all she did was sigh and say, so the gig's up. And that's when she left and gave me those divorce papers.
I see. And why exactly are you telling me this? What do you want me to do? Convince her to come back or something?
What? Well, I thought that...
The only reason I haven't blocked you is because you currently have custody of our daughters. But make no mistake, because we already got divorced and you're just a stranger to me now. I don't want to hear these complaints of yours. Hire a therapist to talk or something.
These aren't complaints, I'm asking you for advice.
Same thing. I'm a stranger to you now, so don't ask me for advice.
Please, I'm begging you, what in the world am I going to do now?
I don't know. I'm actually very busy with work, so I need to go soon.
Please, just help me or something.
Oh, that reminds me. Pay the alimony on time, all right? It's almost the deadline, and you haven't paid it yet.
What?
I haven't received one from Albina as well. You told me that you didn't have the money at hand, so I was kind enough to delay the deadline once, but I'm not going to do so again. Don't tell me you're not going to be able to pay it, are you?
No, I can pay, it's just that...
Goodbye. Hi, Mother. We just left the house earlier. The people from the moving service are going to be there around 1 p.m. tomorrow, all right? Yep. Everything's ready here. I had your rooms prepared for your arrival already. Yep. But still, it's so impressive you were able to rent a 4 LTK room for our new house. You're the best mom. Yep, thanks. It's a bit more rural compared to our old house, but it's not that inconvenient over here. You're going to have to take a different route to your universities now as well, but the time it takes to get there is about the same, so that's okay, right? Yep, that sounds all right. We're just lucky this room was up for rent in the first place. So this was the reason, huh? What are you talking about, Nina? It's about Albina, who left the house and gave Dad the divorce papers. Apparently, she thought that Dad had a lot of money, and she lied about being pregnant so she could get him to marry her. Oh, is that so? Yep, she probably found out that we were rich when she saw our house. But what she didn't know was that in our case, Dad isn't the one who makes most of the money. It's you. She probably thought you were just a housewife, but in reality, you're an artist that makes 10 times as much money as Dad. Albina asked me about our family's income situation when we moved in, and I told her all about it. She suddenly got in a bad mood and started being cold to everyone after that. Right after that, Dad confronted her about not actually being pregnant, so she left. I see. So that's what was going on. Okay, I need to change trains at this station. I'll contact you again when I get to the nearest station to our new house. Yep, take care.
Reva! Our daughter's left me! Now that Albina was gone, those three were the only ones that had left. Why did they leave me? Why did everything end up like this? Please, tell me, Reva. Tell me where I went wrong. I know. We could just get married again and pretend it's never happened, huh? We could go back to our old lives, just the five of us. I promise never to cheat on you again, so please. Reva! I've got nothing left!
And so, Luca was made to live the rest of his life on his own. He didn't have the money to spend as he pleased like he used to. And not only that, but all his savings went away because he had to pay me the alimony and the child support for our daughters. Apparently, rumors started spreading around his office how he put his hands on his daughters and their classmates. And so now he's never going to get a promotion. The rumors were a bit exaggerated, but what he did was still disgusting, so I don't feel bad for him in the slightest. He now lives a simple life, barely staying out of poverty. On the other hand, it seems that Albina also had a rough time after that. Apparently, she had expected Luca to be rich and so spent money extravagantly while she was with him, buying expensive bags and the like. She had even gone into debt, expecting Luca to pay it for her. But now that she had no one to rely on, not even her parents since they already cut ties with her, she had no choice but to support herself doing shady jobs on the street. Apparently, she was seen going into a love hotel with an elderly man again. She just never learns, I guess.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hello, Anne. I hope I'm not interrupting your dinner or anything. Do you have a little time to talk?
Oh, hi, Dad. We just finished dinner. Just sitting around watching TV. What's the matter? Can I help you with something? I hope it's nothing serious.
No, nothing like that. I just wanted to know what you're doing tomorrow. You and David are going to be home, aren't you? It's Friday, and I thought maybe you guys might be home.
Yeah, David's back for a meeting at the head office on Monday, so he's returned today to spend the weekend together. As you know, he's assigned to the East Coast office until that project gets off the ground, so he wanted to relax at home for a change. He's scheduled back east on Tuesday.
I sort of wanted to see my son, too. Would it be a bother if I stopped in tomorrow? I know you want to spend time with him, but just for a little while, perhaps?
Do you plan to come alone? I mean, I just want to know because I would need to prepare lunch.
Yeah, that's thoughtful of you. Thank you. And you know, David hates it when his mother gets too possessive and starts doting over him. She tends to do that. To be honest, David called me and made me a promise not to tell her that he was returning.
Right. We were just talking about that as a matter of fact. He also made me swear not to mention a word about his return.
Yes, well, I had to lie to her. I told her I was seeing an old friend who happened to be in town, and that I was driving over to have lunch with him. I sort of feel bad lying to her, but I really have no choice. Actually, I'm really seeing this friend, so it's not if I'm really lying. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. That's way better. I'll talk to David later so we can get our story straight, just in case.
Yeah, thanks. Better to be on the safe side just in case. Okay, so tomorrow I plan to meet up with my friend in the morning, and then I will head over. Is 1 p.m. or so alright with you guys?
Yeah, no problem. I'll have lunch ready for you. I bet you're excited to see your son.
Yes, certainly am. Okay, Anne. See you tomorrow.
Hello, Anne. Are you there? Pick up, would you please? I want you to clean the house tomorrow, and I won't take no for an answer. So what I want you to do is take the day off and drive over here at noon or so. Please start with the living room. It needs a good vacuuming. Excuse me? This is all kind of sudden, isn't it? I said no excuses. You have your car, right? Pick up some floor cleaner on your way here, would you? We're out. After you're done cleaning, I need you to go out and do some grocery shopping. I have to replenish some big item stuff. Case of bottled water and a case of canned soup. I've got a whole list here. And you know I have a bad back, so help me out here, would you? I'm sorry, but I just can't make it tomorrow. I already made an important appointment. I really can't change it. What did I just say? I said I will not take no for an answer. Besides, what's more important than helping out your husband's mother when she's in trouble? You better get your priorities straight, Anne. Well, my priority tomorrow is that I have an important schedule that I cannot change no matter what. I'm afraid you're going to have to take that no for an answer. End of story. But I'm willing to help you out on another day, but as for tomorrow, it's not going to happen. I'm really sorry about that. I'm just asking you to do a little cleaning and shopping for me for Pete's sake. That's the least you can do for your mother. Mother? Where do you think I live? You're at least an hour and a half drive away. I can't just pop over there and do the cleaning and shopping and pop back home again. It would take the entire day. Am I hearing you right? What's an hour and a half drive anyway? That's nothing. You know what people call women like you. They call people like you foot draggers. A lazy bum is what you are. I just cannot understand why David even married you. How can you act this way towards your mother-in-law? No matter what you say, Mother, I'm not changing my schedule, and that's that. No further discussion required. Goodbye.
Anne, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, Dad. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad. Just finished meeting with my friend. I'm on my way there now. I should get there in about 20 minutes. No change of plans, I hope?
No changes. Just be careful driving over here. The traffic seems a bit heavy today. No need to pick up anything on the way. We're all set for lunch. Anne, where the hell are you? I thought you would be cleaning the living room about now. I always knew you were lazy, but I didn't realize you were this much of a good-for-nothing slacker. I waited all morning for you. I never thought you would defy me so blatantly. There are consequences for your insubordinate attitude. You do realize that, I hope. The living room still needs vacuuming, and you still have to pick up all those items at the grocery store. The store's not going to be open all night. I want this done today. This is the job of the daughter-in-law. You must get over here right this minute and get to work. I want you here in 30 minutes. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You hear me, Anne? There will be consequences if you disobey me. As punishment for defying me and not showing up as I asked, you are going to have to prepare dinner tonight, too. And I'm not talking about slapping a ham and cheese sandwich together. A proper dinner. You got that? Mother, are you finished? You were going on, and I couldn't get a text in edgewise. I thought I told you I wasn't going over there. I have another important appointment that I cannot cancel. I thought you understood. And I thought I told you to give your mother-in-law priority above all others, didn't I? I said my answer was no. And I wanted no further discussion about it. What is so hard to understand about that? You really are one cheeky woman, Anne. And to think that my dear son, my precious David, married you, what was he thinking? You're just a deadbeat wife, you know what, Anne? I want you to divorce my son and disappear from our family forever. That's what I want from you. Mom, I would refrain from such name-calling if I were you. It's not as if we're simply talking face-to-face. All this is recorded and saved. Name-calling, huh? I'm being kind. I have worse things I want to call you, but I'm holding back. Besides, what I'm doing is providing discipline to a disobedient daughter-in-law. That's what I'm doing. I may name-call on occasion, but it's for your own good. Okay, whatever, but I should tell you that your husband is furious. My husband? What are you talking about? He's not even here today. He's off meeting some old friend that's in town.
Caroline, what is wrong with... What is this all about, for God's sake? I wish you would put a stop to all of this. Why do you have to treat Anne so horribly? What did she ever do to you?
Is that you, Robert? What is this? Why are you texting me?
I'm over here at Anne and David's place right now. Anne showed me what you've been saying to her. What is this? A lazy, deadbeat wife? Really? How could you say such things to Anne?
What? You're at David's place now? Why?
David came back for a few days. Apparently, he has a meeting at the office on Monday. He wanted to spend time with Anne over the weekend. I heard he was here, so on my way back from meeting my friend, I stopped in to say hello.
Pardon me, David is back? He's home now? Why didn't anybody tell me? What's going on here? This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Yeah, of course you haven't. I kept it from you. I didn't want you to know.
If only you had told me, I would have gone with you today. How could you not tell me, Robert? If I had known, I could have gone over there and provided Anne with the discipline that she needs to become a better housewife. Why didn't you tell me, Robert?
You want to know why I didn't tell you, dear? That's because David asked me not to tell you.
Huh? David asked you not to tell me? How can that be? Why would he do a thing like that?
You really don't get it, do you, Caroline? Don't you see what you're doing?
Get what? What are you talking about? What do I not get, Robert?
It's the fact that David is keeping his distance from you. He's avoiding having to deal with you.
Keeping his distance? Did he say that? That he wants to avoid dealing with me, but why? I don't believe you, Robert. Why would my dear son want to avoid me, his own mother? I brought him up. I adored and doted on him since he was just a baby. I devoted my life to my son. How could such dedication and love not get through to him? How could he not feel the love I feel toward him?
That's exactly what he finds intolerable. That fanatical devotion you have towards him. But is it really love? Isn't it just arrogance? A form of narcissism? I really wish you would wake up and smell the coffee.
How dare you say that to me, Robert? How about you? What have you done? Tell me, Robert, as a father, what have you done for David that was so great? Did you shower him with love like I have all these years?
As David's father, I think I've done what's necessary. I know that I'm always here for him when he needs me, and I would do anything for him if asked.
Pardon me, that's all? That you're there for him? I could say the same.
Well, let me give you 2 examples of what I mean. The first example is David introduced me to his best friend, an old classmate of his from college.
Excuse me, his best friend? What's that have to do with anything?
It has everything to do with it, Caroline. His best friend, Daniel. You know Daniel, right?
Wait, Daniel? Are you talking about that Daniel? He's that parentless boy, that orphan, that Daniel? I told him not to associate with him. He is not of our caliber.
That's the one. You do remember him, don't you?
How could he be David's best friend? You must be mistaken. You know that people like that, kids who grow up without parents, don't amount to much.
Well, that Daniel that you so abhor, he's currently the CEO of a major corporation. A corporation that generates over $1 billion a year.
No, that can't be. Not that orphan.
He graduated from a top university all on his own. Finished at the top of his class right after he graduated. He started his own company and in no time built it to what it is today. When David first met him, he told me that I knew Daniel would go far, that he'd succeed beyond anyone's wildest dreams. And he was right. Unlike you, David has a good eye for people. He knew Daniel would make a name for himself someday. He had no doubt in his mind.
That Daniel? That parentless young man? He runs a billion-dollar company. He's the CEO of this company? Are you serious?
And the second example. This concerns Anne, David's wife and your daughter-in-law. David introduced me to her 2 years before they even got married. He told me that he was in love with her and was seriously thinking about marrying her.
He introduced Anne to you 2 years before they got married?
That's right. At the time, he told me he was going to introduce you to Annie right before getting married. As I recall, it was like 2 or 3 months before, wasn't it? He was sure you'd kick up a fuss and would totally reject the marriage outright.
Is that why he rejected that nice woman that I was going to introduce to him back then? It was because he was already going out with Anne? He was already planning to marry her? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And who was this woman you were going to introduce him to anyways?
You know her too. It's Sandy. From when he was in high school. You remember her.
Wait a second, Caroline. That's Sandy? Are you out of your mind?
Why are you so shocked? I worked with her at the mall. She's so nice and very energetic and friendly. She would have been perfect for David. Did you know that their father is a company president? Sandy is much more suited for David than Anne. Wasn't her father just some company clerk or something? I never really asked her.
You're forgetting one thing, Caroline. I heard that this Sandy has 3 kids, and she's not even married, for God's sake. On top of that, they aren't even sure who the father is, and you wanted David to marry this girl?
Pardon me? Where did you hear that?
Not only does she have 3 kids, she's been divorced twice. I heard that her parents are so fed up that they're not even talking anymore.
Is that true? You're not making that up, are you? I had no idea Sandy had...
Everybody knows everybody around the area. Where have you been? I'm surprised one of your lady friends weren't gossiping about it. Your discriminatory views are apparent, Caroline. You only look at things superficially.
How could you say that? Are you saying that I'm prejudiced? That was not my intention.
I'm so glad that David has an eye for people. He knows good people when he sees them. If we had left it up to you to decide who David should marry, I'm sure he would have suffered the consequences. I'm glad he defied you and made his own decisions. His life would have been very different.
I thought only of his happiness. I thought it was best for him, that's all.
We really got off track, haven't we? I suspected that you probably had ill will towards Anne and probably call her a name or two. But this? Are you serious, Caroline? How could you call her such despicable names?
Like I was saying, this was merely part of disciplining her. She'll never be a good housewife if she's not taught proper manners.
A lazy deadbeat wife is going a little too far, isn't it? You come off as a hateful bully is all. David is standing right here next to me. He's in total agreement. You've gone too far, Caroline.
No, this can't be. David wouldn't feel that way toward me. I'm going to head home pretty soon. You will be home, I hope.
We need to sit down and talk, Caroline. We need to discuss our future.
Discuss our future? What are you talking about?
10 years ago, I was forced to accept defeat because of your reaction. Your total hysteria. But this time, I've had it. There are just too many complications involved this time. I cannot ignore it any longer. Unlike 10 years ago, my mind is set. There is no one who is going to change my mind. You can become enraged all you want. Become hysterical all you want. My decision is final.
Huh? What do you mean, final? Are you serious, Robert? Anne, where are you? Where did you disappear to, for Pete's sake? I want you to reply right this second. This is an emergency. Where have you gone? Oh, hello, Mother. What can I do for you? You seem kinda upset. There's nobody here. Where have you disappeared to? Oh, I see what this is about. So you did go to our house. Robert was right after all. He advised us to move out as soon as possible. I was a little reluctant at first, but he was right after all. I'm glad I took his advice. My husband's advice? What are you talking about? No, Caroline. He's no longer your husband. Shut your mouth! This is all his fault. All Robert's fault. He just could not comprehend the love and consideration that I devoted to David. Unlike my husband, I was always thinking of my precious son. Always. But David will come around one day. I know it. He'll look back and understand all that I did for him. I see you have not come to grips with what you did, have you? After that harsh condemnation that Robert gave you, and you still don't understand? What more do we have to do to make you see? What do you know? You have no right to lecture me. You've only been with David for 3 or 4 years. I brought him into this world and raised him to the man he is. You will never understand the bond, the almost 30 years that I spent with him. It's a never-ending, eternal bond. It was David, your devoted son, that suggested that we move and relocate. More accurately, he made the decision to take me to his current place of employment. He put in a transfer to the position back east. He wants to make it permanent, and the company agreed. You're moving there? To his current office? Seriously? What about your own job? Did you quit? No, of course not. I was permitted to work remote, so I can work from anywhere now. Very convenient, actually. I see. Well, then I will pack some things and be over there by the end of the week. I don't think so, Caroline. The address over here is not the one you were told. That was a company dorm. We found a more permanent place. What? You found a new place already? Where is this new place? I'm sorry, but I'm not permitted to divulge that information. After all, we moved in order to get away from you, so why would we tell you? You're trying to pull David and I apart. All I'm doing is obeying David's requests. As his wife, I have to obey his every command, right? Isn't that what you always told me? I can't believe that. David would never do that. You're hiding it from me. David will tell me, I'm sure of it. Okay, whatever. Think how you like. I really don't care if you believe me or not, to be honest. But if you continue to disregard David's feelings, if you continue to deny reality, I'm afraid you'll never see your son again. Pardon me? Not see my son? Not see my David ever again? There is nothing further for me to say to you, so maybe we can cut it short. What do you say? Goodbye. Wait, Anne, don't cut me off. What do you mean I won't ever see my son again? Don't you dare cut me off, Anne! You'll regret this, Anne! No matter what we said, no matter how we tried to explain it to her, she just could not accept the fact that David was sick and tired of her abnormal devotion and love for him. Maybe her love for her son is so strong nothing will convince her otherwise. David tried various ways to make his mother understand his feelings, to no avail. He came to me and his father for advice after countless attempts to reconcile with his mother. She was his mother, after all, and he wanted to settle the matter without breaking up the family. After his parents finally divorced, he sighed with relief, saying to me one night at the dinner table, "It's finally over." He finally seemed at peace with himself. My father-in-law was much the same way, apologizing for making us wait for so long. Maybe if he had had the courage to divorce her 10 years ago, all this might never have transpired. And I would not have endured such anguish. And what happened to Caroline, my former mother-in-law, you ask? I heard this from a friend of mine, and I would take it with a grain of salt. But apparently, she found a young man that looks strikingly like David. I heard she used up all the money she received from her divorce and used it all on this guy. Last I heard, she was deep in debt. She completely disregarded warnings from her friends and neighbors and couldn't stop sinking money into this guy. She's always had a bullheadedness about her. Once she latches onto something, she won't let it go. Maybe that's why she ended up losing everything she cared for. But will I reach out to help her? I'm sorry, but no thanks. I don't think she would even accept my help.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.